Hello, and welcome to James Leslie's Express Lane, where we get you out as fast as possible. DSP has a micro transaction problem. I didn't know about this until recently. Because this man, he's always crying, I have no disposable income. I have no money to spend. It all goes towards my bills and my taxes. I have no disposable income. I almost overdrafted my account buying this one game so I could play it for you, my fans. I have no disposable income. Yeah, that's a lie. Hearthstone alone, he spent hundreds of dollars. We know this because he had like 6,000 dust. And to get that many, you would have to spend hundreds of dollars on cards. And apparently, he did the same thing with the WWE Supercard game, where again, he's spent hundreds of dollars in microtransactions. Now, spending money on microtransactions isn't that big a deal. Unless you're constantly begging kids for their allowances so you can pay your bills. Me, I had a slight issue with the Jurassic Park Builder game. It's like, oh, no one spends 60 bucks on the game, so if I spend 20 to get the T-Rex, why not? If I spend 10 to get this, if I spend 5 to get, if I spend 10 to I spent like 100 bucks on this game. Thankfully, I was able to beat that addiction and just delete it when I got a new phone, didn't re-download it, so I couldn't keep spending money on it. So then I found a different game to do the same thing on, spent a couple $100 on. I was like, nope, stop it, delete the game, don't play it anymore. Because clearly you can't control your spending. Thankfully, though, I have a job. I make my own money. I don't need to beg you, the viewers, for more money to pay my bills and taxes. So if I want to spend $200 on microtransactions, it's not that big a deal. Unlike DSP, who is constantly crying, I have no disposable income. Maybe you'd have more disposable income to pay for your taxes if you weren't constantly blowing it on microtransactions. I'm like, dude, seriously. You can't be complaining and crying that you have no money or no disposable income, then be blowing hundreds, if not thousands, of microtransactions. Or when he was doing Overwatch and he blew like 80 bucks just on skins and all that. It's like, really? What are you doing? You can't cry and complain that you have no money and then be blowing a ton of money on microtransactions. But there's the same guy who goes, do I buy the $60 game or do I buy the $120 version of it and to get the little statue to come with it? $60? Because I have no money, I have no disposable income. $120 and get the statue. Sure enough, he gets the statue. And then he cries and complains that he has no money and that he does... This is not a joke. He said he had nothing to sell. Like, oh, I need to raise money for my taxes, but I have nothing to sell. You have dozens of statues and figurines and all that. You have a Wii U that you don't use anymore. You have a PlayStation 3 you don't use anymore. You have multiple consoles that you don't use anymore. You have games you don't play anymore. And you have a fan base. Could you imagine you get like a white permanent marker and you autograph the PlayStation 3? Like, okay, who wants this autographed PS3 from me? Your fans would spend hundreds of dollars to get that from you. But he has nothing to sell because he's a pack rat and he refuses to sell anything. He's going to be on the show Hoarders one of these days. They're going to come in and just be thousands of figurines and statuettes. Cat was supposed to clean it up and then she moved out like 3 years ago. So she hasn't cleaned up since. Oh, that's... What was it like when he had the birthday stream for all week and he had the cake? You know what he did? Did he walk to the kitchen and put the plate in the sink? No. He left his plate outside in the hallway for Cat to pick up. That's how lazy this man is. The man lives in a huge-ass house he doesn't need and constantly complains that, oh, when I go up the stairs, it gets me winded. Oh, I can barely get up the stairs without getting winded. Like, dude, then sell that house. You already said you had like $90K in equity in it or whatever. So you could get an extra 90 grand than what you owe. Use that 90 grand, buy a house. And of course, stop spending money on microtransactions. I get it, you have a very tiny micro transaction issue. That tiny microtransaction issue is going to become into a bigger microtransaction issue if you keep this up. Mind you, he complains about microtransactions in games. He complains like GTA 5 and Shadow of War. Oh, they got microtransaction. But then he blows hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on microtransactions. Like, seriously, dude, you can't be complaining about microtransactions and then dumping a ton of money into them. Me, as long as it's skins, or if it's a single player game like the Jurassic Park Builder, where it's like, all right, spend $19.99 to get the T-Rex, or wait till you have this much saved up in currency, which could take months, if not years. You know what? All right, fine. Single player game. Go ahead, buy the stuff. Or if it's just skins, like, all right, I want the Easter Bunny skin because Easter's coming up, and I want to play as the Easter Bunny for that day. So I spend $4.99. I got the Easter Bunny skin and all that. Like, all right, that's not that big a deal. But to go out and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on this stuff, and mind you, he does all this mobile gaming. But according to him, he doesn't have time to do anything. He has to work 12 hours a day. Mind you, he streams for 4 hours, about an hour and a half of that. Wah! Give me more money to pay my taxes. Then maybe 2.5 hours of video game. Then he stops. For like 2-3 hours every day, he stops. You know, he eats, he masturbates, he takes a... Well, actually, no, he doesn't take a shit then. He does his hour and a half of... Wah! Give me more money. All right, well, the game's going to start, so I'm going to go to the bathroom. They'll be gone for 10-15 minutes. So maybe 2 hours of live streaming a video game. Then the other 2 hours is him crying for more money and then going to the bathroom. And then he takes a 2 or 3 hour break. Then he comes back for the late night one, does another 3, maybe 4 hours of live streaming, if that. Again, you got to preface it with more crying for taxes and stopping in the middle of it to go to the bathroom. And then that's it. He's done. So he works 4 hours a day. So you got 4 hours of work. Let's say, oh, not even 8 hours of sleep because he's always up till 4 o'clock in the morning drinking gin and tweeting. So let's say 6. So 10 hours a day spent on sleeping and playing video games, working. So that's 14 hours a day to do something else. Like maybe get a part-time job. Or I know this is going to be a huge concept for you, buddy, but how about live stream more? If the only way you make money is by live streaming video games, maybe live stream a little bit longer. Live stream an extra half hour the first one, and then start the second one half an hour early. So only take an hour and a half, 2 hour break instead of 2 to 3 hour break between live streams. Imagine that. Get that extra hour a day of work. And so you might make an extra 20, 30 bucks. Now, a lot of people would be very happy making 30 bucks an hour. Of course, $30 an hour isn't enough for him because 30 bucks? Huh, that's 10 minutes on WWE Supercars that he's going to be blowing it on. Terrible. I mean, it's been rumored that he has a micro-transaction problem, but I didn't really say anything for it, and then I saw the Kiwi Farms post. I'm like, huh, these people know what they're talking about. Because again, like, what was it? The Gwent game where you can also like break down cards. Like, yeah, I can see, no, you can earn the cards organically, or you can spend a ton of money, get a bunch of cards down for their components, then cards. But man, spending hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars on microtransactions, like, holy fuck, I spent $100 in this game. I better stop. Then the other one was like, oh man, I just spent like $200 on this game over like the course of 6 months. I gotta stop. I gotta delete this game. And it's like, all right, well, he's a video gamer. Like, maybe he live streams this. No, he live streamed a little bit of the WWE Supercard and a little bit of the Hearthstone, but not completely. He only live stream part of it. And it's like, dude, if you're gonna be doing this, live stream it, because that's how you say you make your money, is live streaming video games. But you're not live streaming these video games. So even if you do spend $100 in one day on microtransactions, maybe you could have made it back through tips, bits, and cheers and all that. But you don't even do that. You get nothing for it. All right, fine. Well, I just got a $5 cheer, so I'm going to spend $5. No, he doesn't do that. He just, nope, I just spent $100. I got nothing for it. I'm just break down for more dust. Like, dude, I get it. Having a micro transaction problem has to suck. Thankfully, I don't have a micro transaction issue. Anyways, thank you for watching. What do you think? I mean, do you support microtransactions as long as it's like skins or single player games? No, the mobile stuff. How much if you do microtransactions, how much do you normally spend on that? For me, again, it was like $100 in one game, then $200 another. I was like, nope, stop, no more. It sucks because it's like, oh, but I just been warm, and it's like, nope, back away. Or God, what was it on Facebook? The Marvel Alliance, I think it was, before they killed it. Mind you, they had a 1 month event. It's like, hey, here's a 1 month event to unlock this guy. It's like, what's the point of unlocking that guy? The game's getting canceled at the end of the month. Like, that's it, no more. So even if you spend your time, money, and energy to unlock the new characters, you're not going to be able to play them because the game's getting killed. And I don't get how, because the game was super popular. That's another issue I have with microtransactions. Like, no, I spent $60 on, actually, I only spent like 20 bucks. So I spent 20 bucks on Horizon Zero Dawn. I probably spent another 20 on the DLC, but 40 bucks. I know I have a full game. I can play whenever I want. Get a online game like the Marvel Alliance, whatever, and it's like, wow, you spent $100 to unlock this stuff and unlock that stuff. And server's dead. That's $100 down the drain. But thankfully I was able to get over my micro transaction issues and stop doing that. Because, God, that's just a waste of money. But, I mean, as long as the game keeps going, like, that Clash of Clans has been going on for a while, but one day that server will probably be shut down. So look at these people who spent tens of thousands of dollars on Clash of Clans, like, it all just disappeared. I'm done. God, can you imagine? That company's going to run off with all that money that they made off of microtransactions for a free-to-play game. Alright, well, enough of this. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.